Ocean Mike says hello and welcome back to Wicked Fish Wednesday. Hope everybody's having a great night. I gotta share this link with my grandmother on YouTube. My channel. Copy. Hello, Level Up and our other viewer. Hope you guys are doing well tonight. And a new viewer. Okay, ping worked. Epic. Other viewer. Angry face. Okay. Let's see here. What is on the agenda for today? Hello, Craft Punk, or Uncle Murphy. All right, we have 3 folks so far. Hello, Dorothy. Welcome to the stream. We have 3 folks so far. After we hit, let's say, the 3-minute mark to give folks a little extra time to filter in, we will get started with Cobilotus, a cartilaginous fish. That's what it was, carboniferous. Fish time indeed. All right, it is the 3-minute period, so it is now time for fish. All right, so today we're going to be going over the Cobilotus, which is a prehistoric predatory fish, cartilaginous. Many call it a prehistoric shark. However, it is more fishy than anything, no pun intended. So it is cartilaginous, which means that most of its body is made up of cartilage, which is what makes up the soft parts of our earlobe, our nose, and ears and our nose are the most common places you find cartilage, but it's present throughout the body in lots of organisms, specifically cartilaginous fish, which makes sense. So these little fellas grew up to be about 2 to 3 meters long, 3 meters at the maximum, as that was a little bit abnormally large for them. However, they did have large bulbous eyes. And let me pull up a picture of them real quick. I have one saved in my photos. So they had large bulbous eyes, which was one of their more interesting features. They're thought to be somewhat related to possibly a hammerhead species. If you can see that, so glare is kind of killing me. There we go. So, yes. So they had bulbous eyes, and another interesting feature about them is they had 2 tentacle-like cartilaginous appendages underneath their fins, which one on each fin to be exact. And the exact purpose of these is unknown, but they are present. It could be thought, since they were thought to live in the deeper, darker parts of the ocean, it could be a sensory organ to kind of pick up where the ground is, or if it runs into food or other organisms, it kind of picks that movement up and alerts it to prey. So their main diet consisted of squids, crustaceans, and other smaller marine vertebrates or invertebrates. Here, wait a minute. That's what the period they were from. They're from the Carboniferous period, which is one of the earliest stages in history, which makes sense as it is an early shark. Those are the most interesting and prevalent facts about these little fellas. Very ancient. We have 5 folks. Welcome, everybody. Does anybody have any questions about what I just went over? Or Anvil Shark asks Uncle Murphy. All right. Well, first, does anybody have any questions about the fish that I just went over, the Colotus? It is prehistoric, if I did not mention that already. So you'll not be finding any of those guys in the deep sea as far as we know. Who knows? Living fossils do still exist. The coelacanth or the goblin shark. And getting piercings? Possibly. I mean, does have a lot of cartilage. Maybe that's what it used those little appendages for underneath its fins. Maybe those were little dangly earlobes that it used to get piercings with. Only kidding. But still, that's still a little bit of a fun, silly thought. Uncle Murphy wants to know about the Anvil Sharks. Let me pull up a picture of one of those guys. I most certainly have seen the salmon sharks. They are very cute. Very large and bulbous eyes, and their bodies are significantly more compact than other sharks, like the wabadong, for example, which is technically a shark. But yeah, salmon sharks are very cool fish. Let me pull up a picture of the Anvil Shark. These guys are pretty cool. I have a little figure of them, I think, upstairs. Yeah. All right. So here we have the Anvil Shark. Is its more common name. Do not be frightened by its grisly appearance. They're actually quite small. They only grew up to be about 2 feet long maximum. So compared to a human, that isn't extremely big. Think about the size of a small child. So these guys lived about 300 million years ago. Very long time. They were thought to live around East Asia as well as Eastern Europe. That is their supposed habitat, at least. Let's see, what's its scientific name? Let's see if I can pronounce that one. Oh, that's not too hard. The Stethacanthes. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. Stethacanthes. Just looking through the older fish of the day suggestions, seeing if there's any recent ones that I haven't done yet that are compatible with Wicked Fish Wednesday, of course. The scary shark. Will not lie, there are many sharks that people consider scary. So the Goblin Shark, those are living fossils indeed. But do not be too afraid of them. They do grow up to be a couple meters long, but don't be too worried as they are actually very, very slow moving. They actually rely on their jaw alone for hunting, not their movement and chasing. Their jaw is specially designed to actually launch outwards and retract in to catch fish rather than you like chasing it and then biting it. It swallows its prey whole usually. Lives in the deepest parts of the ocean, and it is. I think it is was also alive in the same period as an Anvil Shark. Let's fact check that. Goblin Shark. Not quite. It's been around for 125 million years old. All right, see you level up. But yes, the Goblin Shark might look very scary, as I've said this a lot, but they're actually not very dangerous for humans, at least. They're very good at what they do, which is conserving energy in a scarce environment at the bottom of the ocean. Hello there, welcome to the stream, Kalen. We're talking about the Goblin Shark. Thank you very much. So the Goblin Shark, it moves so slowly in order to conserve energy in its deep sea environment. As many know that the Goblin Shark lives deep sea, and the deep sea doesn't have that many resources as less light reaches down there and less organisms are able to thrive in that sort of environment. So since there are less organisms and less opportunities for prey and hunting around, fish compensate that like the Goblin Shark does. It uses significantly less energy while moving and makes up for that with its jaw speed, like I said. It launches its jaw out like I believe like almost like a foot or two, kind of like launches outwards and grabs the prey and swallows it whole and brings it back. It's really interesting. There's a very cool GIF of it or video that I saw. It's very interesting to see. The Greenland shark, also a very similar type of hunting shark. Very slow moving, conserves energy in a deep and cold environment. They're kind of known as like the bottom feeders of sharks. The Greenland shark is. They'll eat most things. Sharks can be pretty scary as they are predators, but as long as you keep your respectful distance from the wildlife, most things end up just fine. Some sharks do not have sharp teeth, like the nurse shark, for example. Nurse sharks are very docile fish and they lack large teeth. I have seen one and I have pet one. It is very cool. I've seen two actually. The cookie cutter shark is very cool. One of the few parasitic sharks. Instead of hunting for the entirety of a fish, they will actually use their lamprey-like maw to latch onto a much larger organism than itself and not eat it whole or intend on killing it to eat, but instead it takes like cookie-shaped chunks out of it with its jaw in order to have a continuous source of food over time. It kind of lives off of that. It's interesting. My favorite type of shark? That's easy. My favorite type of shark is the whale shark. Always has been. Whale sharks are very cool as their spots that cover their top side of their body is unique to each whale shark, similar to how we have fingerprints. They have special uh, spots. That's how you identify them. Very cool. Filter feeding shark. Who would have thought? I've seen them. Where did I see them? Was it the Georgia Aquarium? Passed through Georgia once on our way to my grandparents, and we saw the aquarium and the Coca-Cola factory. Yeah, pretty sure they're at the Georgia one. If not, then it was at the Ripley's Believe It or Not one, and it was either Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg. They're so close together, I always forget. I hope to someday, sooner rather than later, for multiple reasons. Okay, that's what I was thinking of then. I believe when I went, they had a temporary jellyfish exhibit, which was very cool. An urchin. I think they have, yeah, they have that at the Georgia Aquarium too. I got to pet some starfish, all sorts of cool stuff. Anti swag. Well, I don't know about that. Some jellyfish are, like the true jellies, as they are very invasive. I have been swarmed by stingray. It was very cool out in the wild. I went to Stingray City in Grand Cayman. Swarm all over you wanting food. They're very large too, bigger than me. Very cool experience. Hundreds of them just swimming around wanting food. Oh, stung by one. That's no good. By a jellyfish, I imagine. Hope not a stingray. Well, jellyfish don't really mean to. Their reaction to touch is automatic. It isn't a voluntary thing, as they have no advanced nervous system. It's a strange but effective process. Anything that touches it, their cnidocytes launch out dozens or hundreds of miniature barbs that will hit the skin or whatever surface that it touches, and it will give you the venom. It's an automatic process. Whatever it touches, it assumes it's food and tries to stun it. And then, upon touch and continuous touch, might attempt to wrap around and then absorb it, basically. The little whale that looks like it's made of rubber. Mini whales kind of look rubbery. Are you talking about the beluga whale? The beluga whale, maybe? The white one? There we go. Dolphins are not whales. They are porpoise. Killer whales are not actually whales. It's actually a misnomer. They're actually porpoise. Called killer whales because their pods are capable of killing whales. Stuffed animal beluga. That's pretty cool. I have big bluefish. Humpback whales are very swag. One of my favorite type of whales. Koi fish are very cool. Very pretty. We have hit the 21-minute mark. Does anybody have any further questions or queries? That would be very cool, Clobion. I would like that very much. So, does anybody have any further questions before we wrap up the stream? I'll take one or two more if anybody has any. And pardon me. If not, I'll bid everybody a good night and a farewell. Hiccups. I'm very glad that you enjoyed the stream. Piranhas are swag, but kind of spooky. The movies. Didn't know they made movies about piranhas. Oh, I think I might have actually heard of that. When I was younger, I used to just walk over to the Red Box when my parents were grocery shopping. I'd just stand at the Red Box and look through all the movies. I believe I did that once when I saw that piranha movie. That's what I'm thinking about. Maybe something different. I don't know. Anyway. Prehistoric species of piranhas are unleashed. We'll have to do that sometime. It's pretty funny or crazy. It's almost like that Zombievers movie. Movies like that always make me laugh. Well, thank you, Dorothy. I'm glad that you enjoyed the stream. Well, everybody, I hope everybody enjoyed tonight's program. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys did too. Hope everybody has a great rest of your night. Like always, stay safe. Feel free to ask suggestions or reach out. So, have a great rest of your night. Like always, see you guys tomorrow. And goodbye, fishy friends.